It is the wild, wild west in these NFL streets right now. Pete Carroll, legendary head coach, fired by Tom Brady, Mark Davis, and the Las Vegas Raiders after just one season. They told him it's time for you to pack your bags and get the hell out of here. The Las Vegas Raiders were absolutely the worst team in the league this year. I mean, the Tennessee Titans was bad. How are you look worse than the Tennessee Titans makes no sense to me. This was terrible. It was Pete Carroll who wanted to bring in Geno Smith. Geno Smith, I believe, led the league in pick. He was awful this year. That was a Pete Carroll decision, and now he has to face the music of his decisions. Y'all went and decided to draft Ashton Genty in the first round, and you don't even have nobody to block for him. You don't even have nobody to block for Ashton Genty. So this is nasty work. Pete Carroll fired as Las Vegas Raiders head coach. We got to get into all of this. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video. Let's get into it.
Morning, the Raiders have fired head coach Pete Carroll after one season in Las Vegas. The Raiders will have the #1 pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Important to note, Raiders GM John Spytek and Tom Brady will now be in charge of identifying and hiring the team's next
Y'all was just doing this last offseason. This is wild.
head coach. Is this the right decision?
It absolutely was the right decision. I don't give a damn about it. No disrespect to the GM, but I don't give a damn. I want Tom Brady to make that call because we all know it's going to be a quarterback who got the #1 overall pick. There's one man that should make this call, and that's the 7-time champion, and it's Tom Brady. Pete Carroll, God bless him. Father Time is undefeated. We say it about players all the time. Sometimes we have to say it about coaches. He looked old. He just looked a bit outdated. It's like there comes a point in time when you're looking at certain people. He's a 2-time national champion. He's a Super Bowl champion as a coach. Went to 2 Super Bowls as a head coach. You just got to look at people and sometimes go like this. Yeah, man, the run was good. Yeah. It's over. And that's what I saw when I was watching the Raiders this year. I just said, time's up. Not that he can't coach or anything like that, but today's players, the mentality, the focus, et cetera, et cetera. I just said, a new voice, a new coach.
Yeah. It's time for Pete to retire, man. Pete, you lost a step. I don't think, and then especially if you drafting it looks like Fernando Mendoza, quarterback out of Indiana, is going to be the #1 pick. I wouldn't trust that pick going in the hands of Pete Carroll. I'm going and getting me an offensive mind, legitimate offensive mind to pair with Fernando Mendoza to make sure that you can't mess up this pick. You literally cannot mess this up. So I think you got to go get a bright offensive mind to pair with them.
It's the right decision. The Raiders had consistently the worst tape out of anybody in the NFL. It's the worst roster in football. Yep. And so we can sit here and think that a new coach and having the #1 pick is going to fix it all. It's not. There's one player to really build around. Max. It's Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers. Okay.
And then maybe Genty, and that's still a little bit of like, let's see what you actually are. Max is there, no question. I think they should trade Max. Mm-hmm. I love Max. He should go to a contender and finish his career. Yes, I agree. They need such an influx in talent. It's remarkable to look at this football team and say, all right, this is going to be a much longer process. This will be their 6th head coach since 2021. So whoever you hire, you better.
6 head coaches in the last 5 seasons. That is crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Make sure that you're committed to them long term, like literally 3 or 4 plus years. And don't lock in Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback from Indiana, as the #1 pick. Don't. Really nice player. The Dante Moore young man from Oregon, if he comes out, will absolutely warrant to be selected #1 if they choose quarterback. But this roster needs so much talent.
Well, the big piece was this. They were refusing a rebuild when they hired Pete Carroll.
Remember, 10 wins.
Yeah, Pete Carroll isn't the type of coach. He isn't at the age where you expect that he's going to be rebuilding. That's why you go out and you get Geno Smith and you try to add some of these pieces in free agency. You draft Ashton Genty as a running back at 6 because you expected to compete this year. Clearly, that's not it. So now you have to say and concede, we are rebuilding. You got to find you a coach that can rebuild. You have to have people in the executive offices that understand rebuilding. And you have to have people on your team, not like Max Crosby, who will be comfortable with rebuilding. He's the face of that. He's the face of that franchise. He doesn't play rebuild ball.
He's been rebuilt too much.
He could be destroyed
over and over again. But you can utilize him to get more pieces to add to your roster. Pete Carroll should be gone, but choosing your next coach and what you do with the draft capital you have this year are the most important priorities of this offseason.
I don't agree with letting him go. And my reasoning is,
come on, Cam. Come on, Cam. I feel like you're just trying to be argue the different side for the sake of the show, man. You know damn well Pete Carroll needed to go.
yes, is he old? Of course. But did he have enough time to properly develop his system or implement his system? No, he didn't. So as we're talking about the people who make these decisions, well, I'm getting a lot of looks right now. I don't not
Cam,
like.
they're terrible.
I understand they're terrible, but you make do to what you have. So when I'm saying Tom Brady's making the decisions, right? He's well and qualified to make the decisions. Nobody's denying that. Pete Carroll isn't. It's going to take time.
Yeah, but you know this too though. It also takes energy. And I'm not, and I am certainly not talking about the energy to move around, the energy to come to work. It takes a different level of energy to understand and to feel that level of sorriness because this team is no good. Pete Carroll hasn't done this, has not had to do this for decades of his life. You need to get someone who is in the mind state of rebuilding because they allow you to draft in the way that you're rebuilding. They allow you to execute roster moves in the way that you're rebuilding. If you're not in that headspace from a mental standpoint, you won't be the right coach to move forward with.
Let me tell you the vantage point I would come from with it if I was writing a column. Tom Brady getting paid $37.5 million a year doing Fox. You see them damn commercials he's doing? Everything is about attention to detail. You know, the motivational stuff that he's doing. The woman in the commercial, great
Avocado
commercial.
ice cream.
A great commercial and stuff like that, where he's motivating that she's hardcore, she's on top of it, terrorizing grandmas for crying out loud. And then Tom Brady pulls up in the order, way to go. You understand? So pay attention to detail, that kind of stuff, right? They brought you on as a minority owner. You got the #1 overall pick. We know it needs to be a quarterback. I don't get, let the GM make every other pick, but that pick has to be Tom Brady's, period. I got a 7-time Super Bowl champion quarterback as a owner of my franchise who just retired a couple of years ago. He's related to the player. Didn't he work out Shador Sanders? Wasn't he motivating them? I mean, this dude ain't in his 70s. Tom Brady's now. You're an owner.
But
you're a quarterback. I'm going to say this. You are the one that has to make that pick. The all-time greats sometimes have a problem.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
don't say Jordan. Don't say Jordan.
Yeah, they do. They do. But I do think this was the right move, man. Pete Carroll, I think Pete Carroll needs to retire. But hey, these owners are not playing games, man. Raheem Morris, gone. Kevin Stefanski, gone. Pete Carroll, gone. We are going to continue to watch this coaching carousel very, very closely. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. This Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.